From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
Can't help it, I just miss you. How did I lose you now again? Can't help it, I just miss you. Why did I lose you now again?
It's Tuesday, April 30th, 2019, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studios on the ones and twos, our illustrious engineer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
All the way from Gatorland, Florida, Eddie Big Cat Koffoltz.
Yes, it's so good to see you.
And the family is back together, finally, from Nashville, Tennessee, author, speaker, podcaster, cowgirl extraordinaire, Annie F. Downs.
Good morning, gents. I'm so glad to see you all.
So good to see
Here
you
you all.
guys.
Quick,
hey, before we
you
get
got
going,
a thing. Sorry, go.
Yeah. Before we get going, and I want to tell you that today's show is brought to you by our partners at World Vision and the upcoming Global 6K for Water, which is happening this Saturday. It's not too late to sign up. The Global 6K for Water is a one-day event where people from all over the world walk and run 6 kilometers in their own neighborhoods to bring lasting clean water to children in need. Every step you take is one they won't have to. Now, why 6K? 6K is the average distance women and kids in the developing world walk for clean water. And World Vision is the number one provider of clean water in Africa, number one builder of wells in Africa. No better organization to get behind. When you walk or run World Vision's Global 6K for Water, you provide life-changing clean water to one person in need through your registration fee. But you can raise a lot more than just that. So no matter where you walk or run, you'll be celebrating lives changed. Like I said, the event takes place this Saturday, May 4th. Our whole team at Relevant is running it, and we'd love for you to join us. Now, whether you're in Orlando or anywhere across the country, you can find a group, you can host a group by going to worldvision6k.org. And if you actually want to come to Central Florida to run with us, you can go to worldvision6k.org/relevant, which is our team page. There
Really lovely this time of year, actually. If you're ever going to run in Florida, this is the 1 month you want to do it.
Yeah. After May, steer clear.
Yeah.
After this, but up from October to May, quite lovely.
Hey, guys, I couldn't be more. Oh, go. I'm sorry. You've been trying to insert something, and I keep walking all over you. This needs to be important.
Eddie's ready.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Hey, before we continue with the show, I'm curious, just by show of hands, how many of us have been to a communist country lately? Are we? Yeah.
Cameron hands.
Emotionally or physically?
How was it, man? Like, you went to Cuba. This was like when the president goes to Iraq and doesn't tell anybody, and all of a sudden it's just like, boom.
Except me and Chandler were on a cruise ship. I mean, it was.
It's a lot slower, certainly. We
had theorized, Cameron. I don't know, and I'm assuming you didn't listen to the podcast that I hosted.
No, I can't. I can't do it. As longtime listeners know, if I'm not on the show, I can't listen because I don't want to know if it's way better without me or way worse without me. Either way, I don't want to know.
I will say it was certainly on that spectrum. I will not tell you where.
It was certainly a show,
but it was on that spectrum. It was a far end of it, and I won't tell you which end, and you'll never find out. You will never find out. But I speculated,
ladies and gentlemen,
Jesse Carey, when you were gone, that Chandler probably wouldn't be returning. That he would, for reasons that are diplomatically very confusing, will be held by the Cuban government for the rest of his days. We're just glad you made it back.
I just pictured you guys.
We thought you were going to be a bargaining chip.
Yeah, I pictured you guys getting off the boat and Chandler just donning a white fedora and saying, "I've got business," and walking away. That was the end of Chandler.
I pictured like a video of the Castro who's now in charge, like smoking a cigar and addressing the people of the United States. And like, we have Chandler, and like you're just theirs now. Chandler, you belong to Cuba now, and we don't know why. We don't even know what they're
Cuba now.
We don't know what they're even bargaining for.
It's an even trade.
They have you.
Chandler, I always knew you were coming home. I just didn't know if you were coming home by choice or by force, but I always knew you were coming home.
Yeah, we either knew you were coming home by that you would have snuck back on the cruise ship and not become property of the Cuban government, or a SEAL team was going to come rescue you. But we knew you were going to come home eventually.
So you went on a cruise with your family. How on earth did you do that?
My parents, my parents travel a lot. I mean, I think, bucket list type stuff at this point in life. And we were at a family dinner a few months ago, and my mom mentioned that they were looking at going to a cruise that went to Havana. And I was like, what? I mean, that seems a little edgy for the strings. You know what I'm saying? And
I love it.
And I was like, why? And she goes, actually, our family has longtime ties to Cuba. Don't you remember my parents, who we call Big Mama and Big Daddy? They got married.
I read about them.
They got married, and immediately after getting married at 18 years old, went to Havana and planted churches. And I was like, I forgot that. It was before, obviously, the Communist Revolution and stuff, and planted a couple of Assembly of God churches around the area. And my mom was like, it's a place I've never been. It's a big part of our family's story, and I just want to see it. And so I was like, I'll go. And Chandler's sitting there at dinner, and by the time I said I'll go, my mom's thinking maybe this is a family trip. Maybe Chandler can come too. And so then he was like, all right, sure, I'll go. And so next thing, literally a day later, she booked the tickets. I mean, like we were. She got a yes, she booked it. So we all went. It was great. It was interesting because our trip was the last trip before the government reseals the tourism aspect of it. They're shutting off cruises and everything. Right now, the first week in May, right now, any cruises that were booked to stop in Havana are getting new itineraries. There's no more American tour groups or whatever allowed in Havana. So
I picture what almost transpired because it's all making sense now. I wondered why I had this weird premonition that Chandler would be left in Cuba for the rest of his days. And I can picture it now. It's like the cruise is like, hey, listen, everyone. Big diplomatic announcement. This is the last cruise out of Cuba. And if you're not back on the boat by noon, there's nothing we can do. Legally, there's nothing you can do. And it's like the last call. It's like the port of call. They're blowing the horn. Like your parents are on the deck of the ship. Chandler, where are you? He's been playing Pokemon Go.
Dude,
he's lost in Cuba. And legally, we're not allowed to, he's not allowed back on that boat. He is persona non grata. He's a man without a country. He has no, he's no citizen. He's a citizen of no land.
It's exactly like The Godfather when they celebrate Hyman Roth's birthday and they just got to get out of town. This is exactly what it's like right now for everybody.
It was the last chopper out of Saigon, and guess who got left?
Wow.
I mean, he would have one option.
That was a way to do it.
There's one little American outpost on the island, and that's on the other end of the island, Guantanamo Bay. That's American soil, and he could have made his way over there, jumped the fence. He would.
And they're like, sure, if you want to go over there, you can. I mean, it's it's your place, but you got to really think about this.
But once again, for some reason, Chandler, if you ended up in Gitmo at some point, I don't know if that would be a big shock. I don't know what you would have got involved in, but all the cards are on the table. We're just glad you guys made it home. I'm riding high. I've been riding high ever since we last recorded, and I got to host, and it was on the spectrum of horrible and great. I'm getting ready for this run coming up. I'm flying in for the run. I'll be in Florida this week, the Thursday show. I'll be down there. I'll be, Cameron, I hope there's not a lot on the schedule meeting-wise Thursday, Friday, because I've dedicated most of those days to stretching. Carb loading. I'll be carb loading and stretching. I would just loaves and loaves of bread and just very, very deep stretches. My endorphins are running high. I can't wait. The site's been cranking. Like a lot of people have been coming to the website lately. We got this new mag out. I'm a 10 out of 10 today, guys. A 10 out of 10.
A 10 out of 10.
I will say this, though. I go to 12. And so, so it's not. Yeah.
Well, we do have a great show coming up.
Don't get too excited.
Coming up later, we talk to one of our favorite bands, Judah and the Lion. They join us. They have a new album out.
I love those guys.
Yep. Wow. They have a new album called Pep Talks. It drops this week, and you'll hear all about it. Also, exclusively, you will hear about the brand new issue of Relevant. I can say this. It is our most star-studded, A-list, packed issue we've ever published in 19 years. It's crazy.
I will say this, hands down, it is the most recent issue we have ever published. I can't.
No question.
It is
the newest one.
This is. I don't think I've ever been as proud of one. And we've done like a lot of great issues over the year, but this one, man, when we got it back, and you can see all of the names that we got in. And the other thing too is
it's not just the names; it's what they said. I mean, the conversations are like
even this. even this Judah in the Line, you're going to hear because their new album drops this week. But even, we're just playing a little bit. But when you hear these guys' story today, you're going to want to pick up the mag, even just to hear the rest of this story, because everyone really opened up and got vulnerable, from Steph Curry to Tony Hale. Like it is just packed. We're really excited about some of the stories we get to tell this go around.
Awesome.
So that's coming up later. But moving the show along, it is time. I've been missing. I mean, being on a boat for a week, I missed my news, and so I've been very much.
I'm
looking
sure you
forward.
did it. And also, let's call this news really loosely.
And also, really, I know the 3 slices that are about to be presented. Just let's undersell and over-deliver here.
Let's also, as if Jesse's not bringing a twofer. This is for sure going to be 4 slices.
I do have a twofer.
I know you do, bud.
But here's the thing. I kind of feel like we're talking offline. Cameron, if this is your call, I feel we mix it up. I almost feel like Annie should start us off today.
Oh.
I almost feel like
Does she also hold on? Does that mean that she also gets the clip at the end of the show, the little blip at the very end of the credits?
No, 0%.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
0%.
Listen. You gotta keep this thing fresh. You know what I mean? Like, there's no sacred cows
so
here.
on the last podcast of the year, there's going to be 100, or there's going to be 99 Jesse blah 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 blahs, and then one little Annie stuck right in the middle
But
of
you
it.
can't plan it, Annie. You can't. You just have to let absurd, inappropriate things fly out of your mouth.
Yeah, I'm just not quite the open fire hydrant that you are on these shows, but we'll hope for the best.
All right. Well, let's maybe start off with you teeing off with a slice,
Okay.
and we'll see if you can carry the torch all the way to the end
Cameron,
of
you're
this.
gone for
Oh,
1
wow.
week, and Jesse just puts on the cowboy hat and takes off, doesn't he?
Well, he's joining you as a cowboy extraordinaire, I guess. I don't know.
That's right.
All right, it is time for
Slices.
what do you have, Annie?
Well, thank you so much, Cameron. Okay, you guys, I have a question for y'all. When you get your hair cut, do you tell your hairdresser everything like women do? Is it the same kind of thing that the hairdressers are the ones who know everything?
No, the reason, and this is not a joke, this is total truth. The reason I go to my barber is because we don't speak a
You don't
word.
talk.
What would you
Not
like?
a word?
I would like a number 3 up top, taper it down on the sides, and I don't want to see skin on the sides. That's what I say. She does it. We do not talk. She puts my little aftershave on the side of my hair, and I walk. That's why I choose my barber.
Oh, I am chatting the entire time.
I need,
Annie. I want to. I always ask him, "What's the weirdest haircut you've given in the last 2 weeks?"
Yeah.
And let's talk here. I want to know. And you know what? They always have one. They always have a weird one that they're wanting to talk about. They're like, "I'm so glad you asked about
That's
that."
a good
because
icebreaker with the barber. I like that.
Yeah,
That's good.
this guy, he came in and he
Cameron
wanted
for
a
sure
rat
talks
tail.
to his barber.
No
Look at his
way.
hair. He for sure talks to the person who cuts his hair.
0. I sit down.
No.
They say,
Zero?
what do you want to do today? I say, honestly, whatever you think will look good. That's what I say.
Yeah.
You do have
And,
great hair.
and then I pull out my phone and read Twitter.
Yeah.
And then we're good.
I'm telling you, Cameron and I, and the reason I knew this is because getting a haircut is like 20 minutes in an airplane. You usually can't mess with, like, you can't do too much. You're pretty
20
much
minutes
stuck.
is also the difference between y'all and us.
Yeah.
But Cameron, I don't see how you read. Like, one, I got the cape on when I'm in there.
Yeah.
And 2, I'm not looking down. They're jerking my head around trying to get me straight to
You know
I
what's
can't
cool?
look at the screen.
This is why I love God. He gave us these 2 things called arms, and they can bend in multiple directions. And I can hold a phone in it up to the side and hold it up toward my face, and I don't have to like look down in my lap. It's wonderful.
And that's
these
why-
arm
that's why-
inventions are incredible.
That's why you love him.
Can I move forward with my slice before we counsel and pastor Cameron?
But I do feel like this would set up Cameron really good for a testimony at church. I just, was really thinking about all that God has done for me in my life. And just these 2 arms right here, I can just swing it around
Think
like
about
this.
it. We have opposable thumbs, people. Think about this. What an awesome God we serve.
I can do I can do the dance moves to YMCA. I can.
Okay, I'm stepping in.
Gorillas
I'm
also
stepping in
have
and finishing my
opposable thumbs.
slice. I'm stepping in and finishing my slice. The reason I ask you is that women and men who do women's hair, they know everybody's gossip. They literally know.
Yeah.
I mean, the girl who cuts my hair cuts about 10 of my friends' hairs, and she knows everything.
Not good.
Yeah, she knows everything.
Although the girl who cut my hair last is actual real life friends with my brother and was telling me stuff about him that I didn't know. That is
Chandler,
true.
did you know that?
No, I haven't had a chance to tell him this yet.
I mean, I knew that she cut your hair, but I didn't.
And
The problem
okay,
is what I understand having to chat with a person because maybe you're there for an hour, but why tell them that level of stuff? Like we chat with plenty of other people and don't tell them the depths of our soul.
yeah, but it's not. It's the point that you're like sitting there in not just close physical proximity with another human being, which should be enough to spark conversation. Like it should be like but literally you're touching. Your bodies are touching the entire time. Where else on this earth?
Okay,
their hands
what?
are touching your head. That's bodily
I think
contact.
your haircut goes real different than mine.
That's weird.
There's
So,
no
hold on.
body touching when I get my haircut.
Time out.
Jesse.
So Annie, somehow
Jesse, is your barber sitting in your lap?
Yeah.
that's
So
how it's
because
supposed to be
the
done.
person's hand is running
hold
it
on.
through your
Jesse, just 'cause
scalp,
it's called a
you tell them
salon.
personal things.
Well, I don't understand. You guys didn't find your barber on Craigslist and
Because
make you go
they're-
to a weird bedroom in the back of their apartment. They sit in your lap and
Yeah. The nature
There's a
of
lot
your
of bodies.
relationship with
Does-
your barber
Jesse,
is
does your barber
wildly
look
messed
deeply
up.
into your eyes as he's putting his hands on your head?
yeah, I mean, a lot of strange things happen.
Yeah, seriously.
No, but I'm saying, Annie, is your head not a part of your body?
What? That's
Yeah,
the
but
dumbest
she's-
question.
Okay, time out. Is she wearing latex gloves? No. Her
but
body.
she doesn't have
is her
one hand.
Hold on. Are her hands part of her body, Annie?
Have you ever gotten chills when you get your hair cut?
Annie, are your barber's hands
Jesse,
attached to her
hands-
body?
Yes, her hands are attached to her body.
Praise God, by the way.
And those hands that are attached to her body are touching your head, which is attached to your body.
Do you consider
like
my
on
hair
Avatar with this
my
person.
body? Do you consider my hair my body?
It's like a fingernail. It's growing out of your body. It's not part of your body.
it's like your
Exactly. It's a
scalp
part
and
of your
stuff.
body.
I don't think it's a part of your body, Jesse. I think it's coming out of your body.
You don't have nerve.
Okay.
You don't have nerve endings.
You
So you don't have
guys-
like touch receptors in your hair.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
think.
but that doesn't mean it's not a part. You guys are about to tell me that hair isn't part of the body, and you're gonna,
Yeah, I'm about to
and-
say
and-
hair is
and-
not part of the body.
Well,
This
you
is
guys
not.
all sound insane.
If she,
You all
if,
sound-
if I left a hair appointment and said, "Yeah, her body touched my body," everybody be like, "What?"
Yeah.
No, she just touched my hair.
Did you
on
find her
paper,
on
on
Craigslist?
paper, according to science, your
This
bodies
is
are
how you-
touching.
This
Listen
is how
to
you
me.
know it's crap.
No, hold on, no, just listen. Just listen for a second. I feel like
Final call, Chandler.
Well, it's dead cells, so I mean,
It's
Yeah,
dead
dead
cells.
What does that
cells.
mean, Jesse?
What
I mean,
cells?
what does that mean, Chandler?
I mean,
It's like fingernails.
yes, it's
a
part
gray
of. So
area.
are your fingernails. Your fingernails are part of your body.
it's
I
similar.
get bad news for you.
Respectfully, what has the show come to that we have to turn to Chandler for science advice?
My point is
Besides,
this.
Mic button didn't work.
My
so we
point
just
is
got
this.
Chandler.
I'm very social with someone in a circumstance where our bodies are touching for 20 minutes and
My
we're going to
gosh.
talk. I'm not going to be a weirdo and act like that this isn't another human being here.
Okay, but I still let's say that's true. What is the draw in you then? Because your bodies are touching to tell deep dark secrets. There are people that are my friends that don't
It's
know that I've
intimate.
known for 15 years that don't know about my life.
I don't know.
Jesse,
It's just.
when you get a massage, are you just chit-chatting the whole time?
I don't do massages.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, no,
Wait,
I can't do a
wait, y'all
massage.
don't do massages?
No, I can't
No,
figure
it's
it out.
horrible and
Can't do
weird.
it.
It's very
I
weird.
You can't figure it
about
out.
that.
There's nothing. You don't have to figure anything out.
No, there is a huge fundamental question that I can't figure out, which
What is it?
It's with the problem with the massage is who do I choose, a male or a female? Because I don't necessarily want some guys like big, like old callousy, huge hands rubbing on my
Pause,
back.
yeah.
But then again, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, it'd be better to have a woman massaging me. I'm like, no, I don't want that kind of touch by anyone. So I'm out. I can't do it.
I've had half of one massage and I was done.
Yes.
Wait, you got to wait, Cameron. I need you to tell this whole story. You got up in the middle of massage.
Well, okay, so I don't know. So my dad and mom love massages. So
It was in
one
Cuba.
year, many years ago, as a gift, my dad had this masseuse who comes to his house,
Oh my gosh.
hired him to come to my house as a gift for like Christmas or birthday or something. You can
That
get a
is-
massage. He shows up with the bed and everything. You know, whatever.
that's where you went wrong. Is
Yeah.
going to your house.
And
you
so-
gotta go to their like.
So the guy
No,
goes into my
establishment.
bedroom and sets up this table and stuff, and then he says I can come in there, and I don't know what to do.
See, that's
And so,
weird. That's
so
awkward.
like, so I'm laying face down on the table. He's starting about 5 minutes in. I just said, you know what? Thank you so much. You're doing a great job. This just isn't for me. And I got up and left.
I don't blame
But you didn't
I
really
don't
leave.
blame
You were in your own home. So you
I
just.
left the room so he could pack up. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't blame you because to me, I'm not comfortable in the spa setting.
And
you know, there's too much tension. Right? There's too much left unsaid. There's only one comfortable place to
There's
get a
too
massage.
much left unsaid.
It's too weird. It's too weird. It's too weird. The dynamic is too odd.
No.
There's only one setting,
gosh.
Annie.
I'm paying you to touch
that-
me. That's weird. Sorry.
There's only one setting where it's objectively not weird. That's because there's a lot of witnesses around.
Don't
And
say
that's-
them all.
That's a mall massage. It's the only appropriate. It is the only appropriate place
Right
to
in
get a
front of a
massage.
Whole Foods, right as you're checking out.
Is right by
Y'all are not
the
Whole
Orange
Foods
Julius,
checkout.
right,
That's right.
in front of the Orange Julius. You
Yeah.
know, you have your head in that little donut thing. Eyes are down. A lot of shoppers.
Yeah.
right there. It's
Lot of
not
tourists.
weird.
Nothing
Lot of
weird's
people
gonna
in,
happen.
just-
That's
It's a
right.
very community. It's a
That
community
is-
thing.
Eddie, that is weird. I don't go to Whole Foods very often, but that is true. I always thought it was odd. There was a massage stand at the checkout.
Yeah, they just
At,
don't.
There isn't in Nashville. We don't have that here.
Yeah, we have massage chairs in the front of most of the Whole Foods, and it's always like, no, okay. I mean, I guess they
get
have
it.
the room, but it feels weird. I'm like buying like broccoli right now, and I'm watching a lady get her back rubbed. It's very
Yeah,
weird.
I was going to say,
I
it seems
broccoli
like
at Whole
for,
Foods.
for reasons that I don't
doing
think
pretty well.
anyone can like, really hone. It seems like the health department would have an issue with massages being conducted where food's being sold. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel like two things. And we've talked about it before. It's like the eyebrow threading in the mall
Yeah.
where there's flinging eyebrow hairs everywhere.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem appropriate either.
Yeah, you're
Like-
walking by with your Orange Julius. Next thing you know, you got an eyelash in there.
Yeah,
I
next
mean,
thing you
it's
know,
like, what?
what is this? What is this? If this is an eyebrow hair, I'm going to freak out right now. You got those helicopter propellers just whipping them everywhere where they're flying the little drones around.
yeah.
It's not safe. Malls are getting weird, guys. Malls are getting real weird if you
They're
look
getting
at it
desperate. They got to make
objectively.
some money. All right, what do you have, Annie?
Ah, really? Back to the slice. Thank
Yeah,
you
let's do
so
it.
much.
You're the one that asked a question. That
You
was
did
your.
start
That
all
was your.
that.
Sorry.
That was a huge
Sorry
slice
for
fault.
giving a
You just got
thorough
to start
answer.
reading.
This is why Jesse kicks it off.
Okay. You guys, last week, the Pope invited all these hairdressers and hairstylists and beauticians to the Vatican.
Makes sense.
And while he was there, his like warning to them was to stop gossiping, was to not let gossip be a part of what is going on. And my main question is, why did he invite a bunch of hairdressers? Like, does he invite a different profession every Monday or something? I don't know. But he told them to all to act righteous in their job and to not let gossip continue.
Here's what I want to think happened, Annie. The Pope is getting his trim, his trim, and the Vatican barber is just gossiping about the bishops. And he's like, this is far enough. I want all the Catholic beauticians to the Vatican to have a summit about gossip, because that seemed like what happened there. He just invited global Catholic hairdressers to the Vatican to admonish them about
You're
gossip.
probably right. That's got to be the only solution, right? Is that he needs that. I don't know. I think it's very weird. Hold on. The last sentence,
Isn't this
Jesse,
the
the last
weirdest-
sentence was your favorite too, right?
Yeah.
He said the cosmetologist should be guided by their patron saint, Peruvian Martino de Porres,
Oh, yeah.
a 16th century barber surgeon. That's body to body
Yeah.
surgery is, whose miracles included levitation, being in two places at once, instant cure, and an ability to communicate with animals. That was a Renaissance man.
That is
Wow.
the coolest thing I've ever
That is
heard
the
of. Well,
coolest.
this slice took
I
a hard
agree.
pivot. It took a hard pivot from the Pope to inviting hair. Okay, this is how weird this slice is, Annie. Let's unpack this for a minute. The
I'm
Pope
ready.
invites hairdressers to the Vatican.
Right.
When he has them there, he admonishes them for gossiping.
Right.
Right.
He then unveils a pope, a saint, which I've never heard of, who had the
nor have I.
power.
But we're
of
not
base-
Catholic either, to be fair.
Yeah, but at the same time, this makes me want to become Catholic because, in the faith I was raised in, I don't have any heroes of the faith who could communicate with animals, teleport, and what was the
Right.
other one? What was the other one?
Communicate with animals, teleport,
And levitate.
be in two places at once, and not teleport. He could be in two places at once. He could levitate, and there are instant cures, which the instant cures one, God heals people. That's real. I'm down
Yeah.
with that one. Communicate with animals, can't be sure of. Two places at once. I wish my Enneagram 7 always wants to be in two places at once.
If I'm there,
I just wonder how all of those superpowers intersect with being a surgeon and hair cutter. Like, is it just having two barbershops, or are you in two hospitals at one time?
Well,
It's-
that's Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like that, it seems like the Pope's burying the lead with the hairdressers. It's like,
Right,
okay,
right.
I need to tell you about this person.
Don't gossip. Be more like this guy, who, by the way, could communicate with animals, could levitate, and we're pretty sure could teleport. He was in two play. We don't know how he did it. It's like, you're telling me I have to gossip, and those are the cards that are on the table. Like, I communicate with animals. Like,
Right. If you want me to be like that guy, don't tell me not to gossip. Tell me how to talk to animals, Dr. Doolittle.
yeah. It's incredible. I'm glad. When is like Russell Moore and the Southern Baptist going to call the hairdressers and address these things? Like, when are the Protestants going to have their moment? When are the Protestant salon workers going to have their moment in the sun with a faith leader? It just seems like the Catholics are 2 steps ahead of the Protestants right now.
And I think it's only fair. I do want to confess, because people talk to us a lot about Jesse being a slice czar, that he never really likes my slices, that Jesse gave me this slice. It is a very good slice, and Jesse is the best at finding them. So I just want to confess that to the world.
Thank you. And you can say it one more time if you'd like.
Credit where credit is due.
All right. What do you have, Jesse?
Okay, I do have a
twofer.
twofer, and I'm going to start. One of these is serious. One of them, we can discuss for a minute, but the other one I'm going to start with is ridiculous, and it's terrifying me. And I've thought about this a lot since I first stumbled upon it. So some fishermen in Norway were doing their thing, fishing, which is what they do on their boat, and they hear something rubbing up against the bottom of the boat. Okay.
It was their hairdresser, wasn't it?
Yeah. Do they immediately have to tell it its secrets?
Yeah. The hairdresser swam out to meet them and being like, so did you hear what happened with Carol? Yeah, it was a really chatty Kathy. No. So they hear something rubbing up against the bottom of the boat. Like, what the heck's going on here? They look down, and it is, because it's like, it doesn't seem like something bumping it. Like, it's definitely like a strange rubbing sound. So they go down, they look out overboard. It is a giant beluga whale. You guys are familiar with beluga whales.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
Yeah. So beluga whales are hilarious.
And tasty.
They're very large white whales. They have a big, I'm describing it for people who don't know what they look like.
Yeah, please
They
describe
have,
a beluga whale.
Yeah, because I feel like you're about to describe a whale shark, but go for it.
No. And so imagine like,
It looks like it's
a
wearing a
whale.
helmet.
it's like a bigger dolphin, right? But it's all white. And it doesn't have like the little snout thing.
Right.
It's just a round, hilarious face. Like it looks like the whale was gonna, God like made a whale and he was gonna keep it going longer, and then just decided, we'll just make the face right there. It's just a big nub face.
Right.
It's like the face is a nub.
Right. He got a call. He just left the work. He stopped paying attention.
Rude.
He's just like,
Right to the beluga. He's like, all right, now I just got to design the head. He's like, we're done here. We'll just lop it off right there. Just
rub
the
it
big
off. Put
nub
eyes
face.
and a brain right there. They're fine. Next.
So that's what it looks like. And the other thing too, because after the slice, I thought about this so much. I did like a deep dive on Google image searches of beluga whales. They never are not smiling. They have this big dumb beluga grin on their face all the time. They're hilarious and adorable. I saw one picture had a funny hat. There was a beluga whale with like a little like French hat at a pool. And I don't know why it didn't explain in the story. It was just like, this is the stock photo of a beluga whale. Sometimes they wear funny hats. They are delightful animals that look big and dumb. They always have this big dumb grin on their face. Okay. So they go and there's like, okay, this smiling beluga whale rubbing himself on the bottom of the boat. So they're like, we got to check this thing out. That's when they noticed this beluga whale had a harness on it, a very large, elaborate harness. And
I can't wait for
the harness, it said Equipment St. Petersburg written on it. And it had on the harness a very large mount for some piece of equipment.
Dude, is this like a spy whale?
Oh my gosh, I hope it's a spy whale. I hope it's a spy whale.
It is either a mount for some sort of camera or a weapon. Because if you see a big dumb beluga whale swimming at you with that grin, you're like,
Pump the
come
brakes
here,
on calling a
buddy.
beluga whale dumb. You don't know.
It's true. You don't know.
I mean, they're not.
You don't know his SAT scores.
Hey,
Go ahead.
listen.
I mean,
listen,
they
I
allow
don't know how
themselves
many-
to be harnessed.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. That was going to be my point. How smart can you be? You got harnessed.
They allow themselves to be harnessed, Edward.
Yeah.
So, like, last thing you want to see is a big, hey, buddy, a big goofy beluga whale with a gun mounted on its head. Okay. So there's a mount, there's a harness, and, property of St. Petersburg. So this is the headline, and this is Associated Press headline: Beluga whale with Russian harness raises alarm in Norway. So people in Norway, like this is going around, start freaking out because what intelligence officials believe is that somehow Russia has harnessed the power of the beluga. They are weaponizing beluga whales. So what they believe is that this whale actually escaped from some kind of Russian military training compound, got out to the open seas. And here's the thing. It is, it's trained. It's tame. The reason he started rubbing the bottom of the boat is because he was asking for food. They said like he came to the surface, opened his mouth and like doesn't hunt. This beluga doesn't hunt. He's trained to ask people for food. So the implication is Russia, having already done what they've done with our social, we've read the Mueller report. You know what he forgot to mention? They're weaponizing beluga whales over there.
Dude, I'm not seriously though. There was
Are you sure? Maybe that was redacted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. we wonder what all those redacted pages were. It was worse than we could possibly imagine.
Right. Like it's weaponized animals in those big paragraphs.
Listen, on that spectrum, collusion for social media ads doesn't seem like that big a deal if they're weaponizing whales over there.
That's right.
But
that's exactly right.
But for real, there was a 60 Minutes story last night about how Norway is like the epicenter of NATO training right now for a possible Russia invasion because the very northern tip of Norway and the very northwestern tip of Russia actually connect. And it's like Norway's primary job is not to defend against an attack, but to constantly be surveying like all of their nuclear arsenal and everything. So I just feel like this whale is Russia going like, you know what we should do that would be hilarious. They've totally found all of our super secret quiet submarines. Let's just put a harness on one of these dumb whales and they're going to freak out for 2 or 3 weeks about it. And at the same time, we're going to get a lot of other good work done.
Well, we're going to go hack the 2020 election. And as a big diversion, we're going to put a bunch of guns on beluga whales and just, swim them out to Norway. No, but I got to think the scientists were thinking like, it'd be hilarious. They're out there. The world's freaking out about us. Everyone's worried about Russia right now. And they got this training compound out in Norway. Let's find the cutest, dumbest animal ever and put a big harness on it. And just,
I'm so offended. You just keep assuming he's the dumbest animal. Or she.
Hey, listen, Annie.
Lots of animals get harnessed. That doesn't have anything to do with their mental capacity.
Do they voluntarily wear funny hats? Then you explain to me how that showed up in the Google image search, Annie. Is a beluga whale wearing a hat? Okay? No dignified animal is wearing a funny French hat. Okay? It looks like he was eating
monkeys
baguettes.
do it when they...
He said dignified,
open
though.
the box.
He said dignified.
I said dignified. They have no dignified. You see monkeys walking around in diapers, Annie. Do you think that's okay? Okay, they got no problem with that. No, but I do think it's concerning. I do. Eddie, are you concerned about this beluga whale?
I gotta say, Annie, I'm sorry. I think you might have a point. The evidence suggests that at the very least, there is a chance that beluga whales are intelligent, have desires, and are self-aware. They cannot prove that they do not have emotions or intelligence, yet they are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're not smart.
There's a payoff. You guys know this. There's a reason everybody does what they do. They're getting something out of it. The beluga whale's getting something out of it.
Well,
food, friendship.
Maybe they're just really vicious. Maybe they're like, hey, this smile.
Hey, we've been wanting to take out humans for a while.
I got to say.
And the Russians are the first ones giving us a chance.
If that's the last thing you see, though, if you're in a sub and you're looking out the front window and a big smiley beluga comes up and you're like, this thing's got a gigantic cannon on its back. But darn it, if it does not have such a lovely little smile. And such a fun little hat.
This is an adorable way to go. It's an adorable way to go.
Everybody's got to go somehow. This is my time.
It's like being assassinated by a koala bear. Like, it's a real bummer.
Oh my God.
You got assassinated, but I'll say this.
Oh my God.
Koala is just the
doll.
cutest thing.
Yeah.
What a doll.
I feel like I just hug him. Okay. You know what? Maybe I should skip the Duver because it's gotten serious, and I feel like we don't have to get. I feel like tonally it would be inappropriate right now, so I'll save that for next week.
Save it for next week.
Wow. I'll save that for next.
What do you have, Eddie?
I feel like talking about.
Listen to Cameron. What do you got, Eddie?
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead. Yeah.
He's back. He has a tan and he's bossy.
I bring this slice yearly. It's not the most overly interesting, but I think that
I
think it's a public service. So every year, Merriam-Webster, different dictionaries add brand new words. 640 new words this year to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, and here are some of the highlights. The most notable is that there's a lot of new meanings for old words. For example, a word that I use constantly is the word snowflake. Have you guys ever used the word snowflake?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesse does it every week.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, snowflake. Yeah. Well, you know, like the origins of it. Like you know, every snowflake is unique,
Right.
and you know, it's sort of like a play on like the generation that everyone got told, "Oh, you're so special."
That's right.
You know,
So that
but
meaning-
it's kind of used as like a disparaging comment for people who
Yes.
are like sensitive or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So that meaning has been updated. Purple is extending to. You want to guess what purple might mean?
Purple, the color?
Yeah, especially as we move into election season. That's a little hint.
Oh, like centrist.
Yeah, it's geographical areas where Democrats and Republicans are in equal numbers. So they're calling some of the states may be considered purple states. There are some new compound words. There's science and medicine, but that's mostly for nerds. Let's get to the business one. Gig economy.
Oh yeah.
Do we know what that means? I don't.
The
I never.
entirety of Nashville is
Yeah.
based on a gig economy.
Yeah, it's like
It's just
temporary
Uber drivers and stuff.
freelance jobs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
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 Oh, well,
Like one night gigs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or one
Yeah, it's like those really gossipy, big mouth freelance haircutters that are just going around spreading dirt around town.
Yeah.
Gigging it up.
They're gigging it up. That's exactly right.
from entertainment bottle episode.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
An
From
inexpensive.
entertainment bottle episode?
It's a word about entertainment, and the word is it's a compound word. Bottle episode.
Yeah, so
No, I don't know.
so like in the era of prestige TV where everything is sort of kind of serialized,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
The standalone.
Like Breaking Bad, like you don't just watch a random episode, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
it wouldn't make any sense. But occasionally they'll do what they call bottle episodes, which are episodes that do stand alone. So like for Breaking Bad, the one where the fly got caught in the lab, for example, or if there's like an episode of The Office that doesn't really have to do with the side plot of like layoffs and stuff. It's like a standalone. They call them bottle episodes.
And they're typically done because they need to give their writing staff a break, so they have one person just write this random bottle episode and they insert it, and it gives the writing staff an extra week. And also it's cheaper.
Interesting.
It's cheaper because it's usually in just one setting, so it kind of like helps the budget, helps the timing. And then of course EGOT, we've known what that is, but that's like in the first time I ever heard it was on 30 Rock, was when Tracy Jordan wanted to get an EGOT.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But you know, everybody knows what it is. It's when you get an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. And somebody,
John Legend has it.
John Legend has a lot, but there's apparently a new one that's like you add Peabody Award to it, and somebody is on the way to get that.
PEGOT.
The PEGOT?
PEGOT, yeah, and I forget who it is, but
That's one of the things that makes me most proud of Athens, Georgia. It's the home of the Peabody Award.
oh really? I don't really even
Yeah.
know what the Peabody Award is. It's just to
It's
show
a journalism award.
So
Oh,
are
yeah.
we saying it wrong? Do we have to say it with a twang?
Oh yeah, Peabody.
I got
Peabody.
my Peabody.
I don't care how you say it. It matters.
My pay body.
Peabody.
Hey,
My
you can
payback.
mock it now, but if you won one, you'd be tweeting it every 35 seconds. So
I will say it's just
It was
not
a
a
hard
great.
burn.
It's not a cool sounding
too.
award. It's not a cool sounding. Like
is,
oh, he's got a
it
Peabody.
is.
Oh,
Yeah, you said
I mean,
the word
good for
P.
him.
You did say P. So anyhow, that's my slice yearly update. All of you are special snowflakes in my heart.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Judah and the Lion join us.
You keep your head up, keep your pride up, golden forever. Don't ever let them forget you. We're all messed up. Ain't nothing to hide from. Golden forever. Don't ever let them forget you.
You're listening to Fits in the Tantrums. The song is Don't Ever Let 'Em. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Boy Pablo with Feeling Lonely. Well, Judah and the Lion is an indie rock outfit hailing from Nashville, Tennessee. And on their latest album, Pep Talks, the band offers an intimate look at what it's like surviving a family crisis. Featuring collaborations with rapper John Bellion, former Mute Math artist or drummer Darren King, and singer Casey Musgraves. The album pushes genre boundaries as it tackles intimate, personal themes. We spoke to Judah and Nate from the band about the album. Jesse, tell us about it.
Yeah, so I was really kind of eager to talk about this album. Annie, you're a fan of the band, correct?
Yes, I love them, and they're dudes that live here in my world. So yeah,
yeah. And so the album's called Pep Talks, and there's a lot of references to like therapy and counseling, and I wanted to kind of dig into what was kind of the story that inspired this, because it's really heavy. And I talked to their frontman, Judah, who, they had this big album a few years ago. They're out on tour. They had the song Take It All Back, which was sort of this unexpected top 40 hit. And they're experiencing a lot of success. But back home, his parents, who, he was very close to, started going through a divorce, and his mom started struggling with alcoholism. At the same time, he had an aunt that overdosed. And so he's experiencing all these, professional highs, but is really going through some personal lows. And so he looked at music as a way of being able to kind of talk about this really difficult stuff. And he talked in the interview about why that, was an unnatural thing, but something he wanted to work through. Here's what he had to say.
I'm kind of like a natural bottler. I bottle things up a lot, and then I'll have, one, especially as a kid, would be like just one spout of just being angry, or, have a night where I'm just bawling, crying, where all these emotions kind of come up. And music for me has always been a good way to kind of express what I'm feeling at the time, and almost kind of help me process what's going on. And definitely with these songs, it kind of helps me get through that.
So, it's one thing to talk, on like a musical level to be able to express that. But, he said that, all of this kind of came to a head when he was actually talking with a counselor, and he had never gone to counseling, but his family's going through this trauma. And so he goes to meet with a counselor, and he's talking through what it's like seeing his mother struggle with addiction, and, his parents go through this divorce and losing a family member and all this bad stuff happening. And, he said it was something interesting happened. The counselor said that your expression hasn't changed. You're telling me all this stuff, but the look on your face hasn't changed. And it's like, you're still outside of music. You're not being honest with yourself. And after getting called out by a counselor and realizing that even through his music, he's venting, but not really being honest about emotions, it really kind of gave a little bit of inspiration to this album, to really open up and to encourage listeners to be vulnerable, and hopefully, he's talking about how his desire is to help people to be honest and help people in seasons of depression and anxiety and difficult seasons in life. Here's what he said.
He kind of called me on it. He was like, he's very into like poetry, and he said this poem. He said, underneath every peaceful current, there's a strong undertow, and I just like opened up, like the floodgates kind of came rushing in, and it was just kind of this moment of like, I don't know, I felt like a lot of freedom in the fact that like, all this stuff was happening around, and for the first time I was like, it's okay to feel these things and to process these things, and it's okay to like essentially not be okay.
Yeah, I feel like music that I'm listening to now, people are writing more truth about their own pain than they have in the past. Openly. Is that true, or am I having off memories of other music?
I think maybe they've been writing about it, but I think that the genre of writing is becoming more like accepted and appreciated and like welcome. Like maybe before all we've wanted was pop songs and general pleasantries, but we're starting to like have an appetite for just real deep, hard truth, which is what they're doing.
Yeah, it just feels like there is, maybe it's that everyone, it feels like my friends, everybody's just a little bit more in touch with their pain than and even a decade ago in my friendships. And music like what Judah and his guys are writing and this new album feels like it's able to say things that I can't say, or I don't know how to say it like that. And so then you go like, hey, go listen to this, because this is how I feel.
Yeah. I don't know if I think too. We're in kind of a cultural moment. I think it's a really positive thing. Everything from like the Enneagram to kind of the prevalence of counseling to just like a higher degree of awareness about mental health issues, where there's a greater degree of comfort in addressing serious stuff. And it's not like it doesn't make you weird or weak to be able to say that you need help. And I think that's why conversations like this are important, but also that's why art like this is important.
I think so too.
Yesterday on the unedited podcast, I had Jamie Torkowski on, and I asked him about this because his whole life or his career, has been focused on mental health and creating that conversation and stuff. And they've been going 13 years. And imagine how different things are than when he first started. Like nobody talked about.
I remember it was shocking when we first heard about To Write Love on Our Arms. Like it was very much like, oh my, I can't believe they're talking about this. This is so brave. And it is still very brave, but it's a lot less like, oh, I see this is one of many great options for us to be able to engage. Like exactly like, talking about the interview we were just hearing. Like, people are talking about it.
Depression, suicide, mental health and stuff.
Totally.
And I asked him, I said, do you see that like, because of, efforts like what you guys are doing and others, like now it's just more accepted to talk about it? Or is it that there's like, because of something in society shifting, there's more people struggling with mental health than they were 15, 20 years ago? Because the rise of social media and so many other things that we didn't have to deal with 20 years ago, And that's to me the interesting conversation in this is like, it is awesome that there's art like this, Judah and Lion's new album, Pep Talks, talking about these deeper issues. It makes me wonder though, are we dealing with new issues that other generations didn't have to deal with? And that's why it's coming up so much in the art and stuff like that. I don't know.
Well, and I think it'd be interesting for someone to do like a correlative study, but you do see a rise in self-harm. You do see a rise in drug abuse. And that seems, Cameron, to indicate that it's not just like a higher degree of acceptance in talking about it, but a higher degree in the number of people that are actually dealing with this stuff.
Well, when you look at the generational studies of like the younger generation, how such a small portion, even have any connection to God or faith or hope, that there's this pervasive hopelessness that they grew up under.
Yeah,
like the world,
right.
like there's imminent threat of nuclear war. Always. There's, North Korea, whatever. There's violence around the world. There's disease around the world. Climate change. The world is dying before our very eyes. The political partisanship and hatred and bigotry that's pervasive in the country. They literally are growing up in a world where they feel hopeless, and then they don't have the actual hope, the capital H hope of eternity, that was more a part of our society, in previous generations, and it's like, so there isn't this thing of like, it'll get better. There's not that overarching hope. And I'm just wondering if that's a big part of what we're seeing right now.
Yeah. I think that's a huge part of it, because that's, Jesus literally says he's the Prince of Peace, and a lot of this stuff disrupts personal peace and creates anxiety. And then at the same time, you have these technological advances that, we're literally surrounded by devices whose entire job it is to vie for our attention. And, whether it's, Netflix or your phone or whatever, that's going to create anxiety. If you're always feeling pulled in 1,000 directions by, now inanimate forces, that, it's going to create issues. But, one of the things, Cameron, you're mentioning the hope thing, the idea of, hopefully pointing people to greater hope is, that's ultimately what, Judah was kind of saying, that he wants this album to be, and that he wants people to feel validated by it. And here's what he had to say about the idea of hope.
No matter what you're going through, like your story, like matters so much. It doesn't matter who you are. Your story matters, but your story doesn't define you. Like at the end of the day, like you get to define your story, and it's kind of like what you make of it. And I think that hope side of what we're wanting to kind of be like our mantra as a band is definitely is definitely what we're kind of trying to hit on with this record.
It's interesting too. Like one of the things I wanted to talk to them, because there does seem to be like this real intentionality with this album to kind of point to hope and, you know, address address all these hard things, but point to hope. But, you know, what's interesting is, you know, they're looked at as a pretty mainstream band right now. You know, they have Casey Musgraves on the album. You know, one of their, you know, their sponsor, I think it's like by like a whiskey brand, you know, out of Nashville, because they kind of have this, you know, but they actually started as a worship outfit at Belmont. They were a worship band before they decided to kind of
What's a worship outfit? Is it like a robe or a flowy?
What the cool thing is, it's like a hairdresser's gown, but it's kind of wizard like, because you can talk to animals, you can levitate. It's a worship outfit. It's a worship outfit. It's a powerful garment. It's a power. No, but they did worship music, and they kind of had an internal discussion, you know, early on about like, what do they want their goal to be for their music. And, you know, they're all pretty devout, but at the same time, those sort of, you know, blatant references to faith aren't really found in the music. It's kind of, you know, their music, you know, they're trying to position it as more of an entry point into a conversation about a topic like hope, like capital H hope, like you were talking about, Cameron. But they've made the decision they want their music to be more inclusive, and that they hope that some of those conversations aren't just in the songs. Like, they're not expecting their music to convert people, but they're Christian guys, and they want these to kind of lead to bigger conversations, whether it's with a collaboration with an artist like Casey Musgraves or just with fans who are reached by their music. Here's what Nate, who plays mandolin and also sings vocals in the band, said about that.
I mean, there still aren't any like overtly spiritual, I don't know if overtly is the right word, but obviously spiritual songs on the record. The theme of hope, I think that's just what we've latched onto and attached to. I mean, tons of interviews on it, but just we didn't want to be pigeonholed and only play for Christians. We wanted to make music that was available to everyone, but had themes of what faith means to us, just not punching anybody in the face with it. And so I think there are songs on this record that if you were to exclusively listen to, maybe would be like, I don't feel like this is that important, or the words they're saying don't mean as much. But when you put in the context of the entire record and the story that's told, and the songs that are definitely more anthemic and chanty and feel good to sing along with each other, but those are put there because of the context of where they sit in the record for needing a moment of not feeling alone. But if you were to just do that song, it might not make sense in that way. But so I think, you know, our whole sort of basis for the record is no matter what you're going through, good or bad, there's always a reason to move forward, and there's always a reason to have hope.
Yeah. So it's a album that I was really excited to, not only for its release, and you know, Golden Hour, Casey Musgraves' album, was one of my favorite of last year, and when I heard their collaboration,
her album.
And when I heard their single that they released, I mean, now that single's been out a couple months, even though the album's just coming out this week. I was really excited about this album, and it didn't disappoint. I was also, you know, in this job, you get to talk to a lot of cool artists and a lot of interesting people, but to have, you know, people be kind of that vulnerable about their own personal stories, it's really refreshing, and they're, you know, great dudes, but it's also a great album. It's out this week.
There you go. All right. Well, that is Judah and Lion. Make sure to check out Pep Talks. Like you said, it drops this week. Stay tuned. Up next, we look at the brand new issue of Relevant. You're listening to SZA, The Weeknd, and Travis Scott. The song is Power is Power from that Game of Thrones soundtrack. Well, as we told you earlier in the show, this week marks a big moment for us here at Relevant. Issue 99 of Relevant Magazine releases, and if we do say so ourselves, it's the best one yet. We want to tell you all about it, and joining us to help tell you all about it is our magazine senior editor, Tyler Huckabee. Hey, man.
Hey, fellas.
And because they have nothing to do with it, we kicked Annie and Eddie off the show. But stay tuned if you're Annie in the Annie and Eddie camp, because they'll come back for the next segment. And,
they got some hot beluga whale takes coming
They
up.
really do. Offline, they've been talking some beluga stuff.
Sometime I think we should leave Annie and or Eddie in for one of these, because they're the ones who could ask the questions that our readers might have. Like, we're just going around patting each other on the back, They're the ones who could be like, wait a minute, why would you talk to that person? Then we can explain the whole thing to them.
I disagree. We don't need to hear any more from them this episode.
Okay, so the May issue of Relevant. It's an exciting synergy, because not only are we, our 99th issue, we've been doing this for 16 and something years. In our timeline, one of the most influential thing that's happened in the kind of lifespan of Relevant has been kind of the rise of the modern worship movement, specifically our friends Hillsong United, who have been doing this thing since 1999. This is their 20th year as a band. They released, on the day this issue comes out, last Friday, they released their brand new album. And the story we do with them, we have Hillsong United on the cover, and the story we do with them is in a shockingly vulnerable conversation with Joel Houston and some of the other band members, but specifically Joel, about the spiritual journey he's been on over the last few years. He really had a crisis of faith and opened up about it, and talked about how that informed a lot of the writing and process of this record. Jesse, you talked to him.
Yeah. And it was one of those interviews. There was at one point during the interview where he kind of stopped himself and was like, I don't know if I should be saying this. And he's like, you know what? It needs to be said. And I think he's at a point, they're obviously, like you were saying, they're a global ministry, they have a lot of influence. But I feel like he kind of felt like this was an opportunity in the right time to be honest and vulnerable about some of the hard side of this and some of the real faith struggles that even people at the high levels of kind of a global ministry and worship movement can go through. And I think, I know having the conversation and working on the story and then listening to the album, man, it was really moving. And it really, as just kind of a normal everyday Christian that doesn't have, a platform like they do, it was really encouraging to hear, it's okay to kind of go through these seasons and struggles. It was incredibly vulnerable of Joel to kind of open up like that.
Now, the last couple of issue previews, this is where we would toss to a clip or something, but Joel was on our podcast on Friday, and you heard some of that conversation, but you definitely don't want to miss this cover story. It's phenomenal. Also, in the issue, one of our, we alluded to this earlier in the show. This is maybe the most packed issue of A-listers, and any number of the features could have been the cover. And I felt like we put Hillsong on the cover intentionally, and it says something about us and what we're about. But any number of these, feature profiles could have carried a cover, and in past years would have. This issue is out the same week that Entertainment Weekly has Tony Hale on the cover. Tony Hale's in our magazine. Yeah. Very different conversation. Tony Hale, obviously, you know him as Buster from Arrested Development. He's on Veep. He has a lot of stuff going on. He's also in the brand new Toy Story movie that's coming out this summer. He's the new character in that. And he talks to us about his very strong faith journey.
Yeah. And this was another one too, where, he really kind of opened up not only about, his faith, but also his personal struggle with anxiety and how, being in this kind of high profile and, look, at the same time, he is in the new Toy Story in the last season of Veep and Arrested Development. He also has a new Netflix children's show coming out in the fall. He's one of the busiest guys in Hollywood. And obviously for someone who struggles with anxiety and feeling kind of overwhelmed, having all this stuff on your plate at one time is a huge contributing factor. But for him, it pulled him back into faith in a new and a really encouraging way. And Cameron, we can go to a clip here of Tony talking about, kind of relying on his faith, even when life gets really stressful and complex.
About 5 years ago, when I was, thankful enough to get a nomination for an Emmy, which was completely blew me away. I was very overwhelmed by it. And I remember this therapist I was working with telling me, I want you, because my
what I kind of wanted to do was check out a little bit because it was too overwhelming. And the therapist really encouraged me to take it in. And like when I was there, look around, take deep breaths, tell myself, all right, this is where I am. This is where my wife and I are at. We're at the Emmys. This is very weird. This is what this feels like, to really, take it in. And because of that, Jesse, I actually remember it the most. And there's something about that trick that really helps you remember it. So it's just, for me, it's just really hard. So I have to just constantly remind myself to do it. I mean, even like now, this is, I'm talking to you, I'm discussing, and it's just stuff like that, like just to wake myself up.
I'll keep it rolling with the A-listers, the possible cover subjects that people could have carried the magazine. Also in the magazine, on the other end of the spectrum right now, it is the NBA playoffs. You might know that because Jesse and I talk about it on the show sometimes. And one of the biggest stars on the national stage right now is multi-time champion, former MVP, Mr. Steph Curry. Steph Curry is in the magazine.
Yeah.
Steph is I know for like you guys, Steph is a very big deal. I don't follow sports quite as much as Cameron and Jesse do, but Jesse, I was curious. You were the one who kind of saw this interview through. I want to interview you about that. Is it nerve-wracking to talk to somebody at Steph Curry's caliber?
Well, I mean, the thing about what he's doing right now is like there's a high level intentionality, like what he's doing, like off the court, which is he started this media company, Unanimous Media, and he is, launching these kind of faith-based family projects that, they did like the movie Breakthrough. He's also involved in the new documentary about the shooting at the historic Black church in South Carolina a few years ago. They're doing like a putt-putt game show. And so you would think like, this is a wide ranging, kind of topic here, but really there is such intentionality of what he and his team is doing, which is to bring families together centered on conversations around faith and sports, that it was actually, he was extremely articulate in his responses and extremely thoughtful.
Definitely gave a more substantive interview about some of these things. He's never come across like a shallow person or anything like that.
Tyler, what were you expecting? I'm a dumb jock. I mean, come on.
No, I just thought that it was not it was not the interview I expected. That's what I would say from Steph. It was he took the questions that you asked Jesse, the conversation that you had with him, went a different direction that I probably would have assumed, and in a much more interesting one, a better one.
So it was really challenging about your stereotypes about athletes, Tyler.
Look. As somebody who had a lot of, let's say, negative interactions with athletes in my youth.
Well, I will say this. Steph ended our interaction by stuffing me in a locker and then giving Tyler a swirly. So it's, we still have
the conversation was good, but he kept the brand alive.
That's funny. Also in the issue, Rooney Mara, Oscar winner Rooney Mara is in the issue. She's the star of the new film Mary Magdalene, which we talked about last week on the podcast. It shows a fresh perspective on Jesus. And again, if you heard last week's podcast, we talked a lot about this film and she joined us, and it was a powerful profile. So read it. Even if you heard last week's podcast, Rooney Mara's there. Taraji P. Henson, you know her from Empire. You know her from countless award-winning films. She's a huge star in Hollywood. She's talking to us about her faith. This is the crazy thing, is like these, when these stars are out there promoting their new project, their new film, their new whatever, they're saying one thing in Entertainment Weekly or Variety, and then when they talk to Relevant, it's like, oh, I want to talk about Jesus and what he means to me. It's like, it's amazing hearing her story.
Yeah.
Kind of relief for some of these people sometimes to talk about their faith instead of having to talk about their like weight loss regimen for the umpteenth time to Cosmo or something, because these people have like really rich interior lives. Celebrities have a lot of thoughts about God, just like all of us do. They just don't get asked about it very often. And I think Taraji's interview with us in this piece was particularly interesting because of how she talked about marrying her talent, her ability on screen, her acting to the way she views God.
Cameron, along those lines of like kind of unexpected conversations, like I know, Cameron, you're a bachelor. You're a bachelor guy. You love it, right? Am I putting words in your mouth there?
You are. Yeah. I'm not. I'm not a bachelor guy. I watch with morbid curiosity, like most of America.
Fair enough. Hey, Cameron, we read you loud and clear, and there's no shame in this game. But we had, Ben Higgins in the issue, who's one of the bigger names in that whole universe, this former kind of Bachelorette standout. And I don't think I've seen a full episode. So like, I was reading the piece, and man, that really kind of pulled me in because I didn't know a lot about that world. And now he's doing something cool with his platform. He's got this kind of, this coffee company that gives back to communities in need in Central America, but he's also like using his platform as the Bachelor to kind of challenge the way people think about, reality TV in general. It was a fascinating conversation.
I was really, you guys know I'm a big fan of the Japanese House, a quick rising indie band that we've had our eye on at Relevant for a while. Amber Bain, who is the Japanese House, finally released her first full-length album, her debut full-length, earlier this year. And I was able to talk to her, and I'm really grateful to her for being as honest as she was with me about some of the issues that she struggled with her own mental health, with her issues with alcohol. She was willing to be really candid about those things in our conversation. And it was a difficult conversation to navigate, and I hope that people will be able to. I hope people can be a little bit encouraged by seeing that amount of honesty from somebody at her level in the mag.
I also feel like she's just a great artist too. Like, and it's cool to hear.
I'm a huge fan. Yeah, she's one of the people I'm most excited about right now in terms of. I just think her music is so good. So loved getting to talk to her about that stuff.
Let's hear a clip from her latest release.
'Cause I've looked within and I've read, but instead I keep focusing on just something I can get. Now I'm looking for something else. I've found myself, I'm someone else.
Okay, so obviously we heard earlier from Judah and the Lion, whose album releases today. And you got to hear a little
moments ago,
literally moments ago. It was hitting all the music sites, but and it was fun to kind of like play a little bit of that interview about some of the inspiration behind the album. But I would encourage people to read the full story because what we talked about earlier really just scratches the surface of this insane and horrible kind of 2-year period that Judah from Judah and the Lion went through, how it challenges faith, how it challenges outlook on music. It was a really emotional conversation. He's talking about the divorce of his parents and, addiction and a lot of heavy stuff. But I felt like despite it all, and I know both of you guys have read the piece, it really came out on like kind of a redeeming, hopeful note.
I thought the conversations with Judah were really good. Your conversations with the Lion were a little hard to follow along with. But I did it. But viscerally very interesting to just imagine you talking to a lion.
I would say this, the transcriptionist botched my Lion interview transcription. Not a lot made of in it because it was just G and R's, the whole transcription, just all caps. It was not what I expected, but that's okay. You win some, you lose some. We also,
to recap some of the other stuff in the issue, there's a lot. We talked to Erin McManus about talking about how to live. We talk about this is, if you are in your 20s and you attend a church and you have social media, you've been invited to a party where they might want to tell you about essential oils or leggings or hair products.
Yeah.
And we talk about that, how multi-level marketing schemes have found their easiest mark in churches, particularly with younger Christians. We also talk about being an adult and how do you engage like other members of your family when, there's so much division today and partisanship and whatever. We call it a house divided.
Yeah, that one was one that was very, very difficult because a lot of people were willing to talk to us about the difficult times they've had with their family in terms of political divides, religious divides, social issues that they feel like have not only been a tension point, but have in some cases really torn their families apart, and they don't even know how to be in the same room together. So navigating those stories is very, very difficult. I'm sure many people listening here have had that same experience. And talking to to a few people who have also found a way to make it through to the other side was very encouraging for me. I hope reading those stories will be encouraging for y'all too.
We also in the issue talked to Nate Bargatze, one of our favorite comedians. We Lupita Nyong'o. We have a lot of great stuff in current relevant selects. Highlight some of our favorite books and musics and albums coming out, or DVDs coming out, movies coming out. And our last word is written by Jenny Allen. A lot of people know Jenny Allen. She had a great last word. There's a lot in this issue. You don't want to miss it. Oh, we also have our summer reading guide where we talked to a number of authors, our favorite books coming out for the summer, stuff you won't want to miss. It's just a packed issue.
Well, the other thing too is, last issue, I think it was last issue, we introduced deeper, like these kind of deeper kind of columns by thinkers. We have Al Mohler and Heather Avis too wrote in this issue. I mean, it is packed, every page.
Yep. You guys don't want to miss it. You can view the issue. If you don't have it, you can view the issue at relevantmagazine.com. You can actually flip through the digital edition there. But if you want to check out the paper edition, the print edition, the real thing, the real enchilada, I like to call it, it's at newsstands nationwide. Most Barnes & Nobles have us. A lot of independent bookstores have us. And obviously, you can subscribe. That's the best way to keep the good times rolling. If you go to relevantmagazine.com /flash sale right now, we are doing a special sale that only for a few days you can get the magazine for $10, an annual subscription for just $10. We will lose money on it, so not too many of you go there. relevantmagazine.com /flash sale. It's available now to celebrate the launch of our 99th issue. Don't miss it. It's the I don't want to say the end of an era, but we're doing something really special for issue 100 this summer. And then we have some big plans for the fall and issue 101 and beyond. So this is a big one for us. We're excited about it. We hope you like it. Go check out issue 99 of Relevant, featuring Hillsong United on the cover and some of our best content yet. Go get it. Hey, thanks for joining us, Tyler. Great job on the issue, man. We'll be back. Stay tuned. Up next, Eddie and Annie join us.
I sure don't want you back. We ain't no perfect match, but sometimes I imagine you here. Oh, we left but still we showed that we tried to get straight out. It's those little things that I hold dear.
Maybe sometimes you wonder if the Bible still matters. Maybe sometimes you wonder if a personal relationship with God is really possible. You're not alone. That's why Ravi Zacharias put together The Logic of God. This devotional offers 52 profound readings explaining how and why Christianity, the Bible, and God are still relevant, essential, and life-altering. Not only does Zacharias lay these out in a weekly format, but he makes profound biblical truths easy to understand. Whether you're struggling with questions and doubts, confused, curious, or just want a clearer way to express your faith, The Logic of God has answers that satisfy the heart and the mind. For a limited time, Relevant Podcast listeners can save 40% off The Logic of God using code RELEVANT at bit.ly/logpod1.
I sure don't want you back. We ain't no perfect match, but sometimes I imagine you here.
You're listening to Johnny Swim. The song is Souvenir. It's from their brand new album. Go get it. It's great. All right. Well, normally, we would have had a feedback segment. We would have had a listener of the week, that sort of thing right here. But we did the new issue preview, which was much better. So,
objective improvement.
Respectfully to all of you who just don't bring a magazine and don't write a magazine, it was a lot better than you.
Listen, snowflakes.
Yeah.
Every time.
Consider this a bottle episode. The one where we just put a new issue preview in.
The listener feedback segment is sort of the beluga whale of segments.
Yeah,
and I think you understand what I'm saying.
Just kind of dumb and happy.
Annie, what are your thoughts about that?
Just kind of floats around.
Listen, I'm just so offended at how unkind y'all are about the thoughts of a beluga whale, but it's fine.
Have you been to SeaWorld?
Remember we recorded when I was in San Antonio. That's when I started being the cowgirl, and my friend Jenna Claire from Broadway sang to the whales, remember?
Yeah,
sang
nothing
back.
says sea life to me like a landlocked Texas town. San Antonio.
How did they even get the whales there?
Yeah.
In Florida, we can lie to ourselves and think like, maybe they were just captured 45 minutes east. But, you know, it's still pretty landlocked where they're at. But, you know, at your SeaWorld, it's a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah.
They have to be flown
By the time
by
they get there,
helicopters.
they're hosing them down in the back of the semi truck. You know, by the time they get there, they're limping. They're barely clinging on to life.
So,
you know?
Cameron, in your mind, this whale was transported from his glorious pod of communal, family, intelligent, relational beast in the Pacific Northwest, thrown in the back of a truck with some guy with like a
flatbed.
Yeah, with like one of those little spray bottles that you use when you're ironing shirts, just keeping them
they
cool.
put the cargo straps over the whale carcass. And then there's a guy with a hose that he's got to like be spraying them down.
Following it in a fire truck, just hosing him down all the way.
I'm reading a National Geographic article, and it says the bump on their dumb head is called a melon, and it's the key to the beluga's ability to echolocate.
Yeah, they can feel sonic waves. I learned that at SeaWorld, Florida.
Neat.
Listen, SeaWorld San Antonio was excellent. The whale trainers were very kind to us.
Oh yeah, the whales love it.
Have you ever seen? Have you ever gone into your dark web escapades? Have you ever gone onto those websites that people like break into like closed or decommissioned amusement parks and they take pictures and stuff?
Oh yeah.
The Columbus, Ohio SeaWorld. I saw that one. There was like briefly there was one in Ohio, and it was like it's just frozen in time. It was really creepy.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of carcasses.
I mean, y'all know that across the nation, all the SeaWorlds are stopping having shows. You know that, right? Like it's ending. We recognize that there are going to be listeners who are very offended we're even discussing this, but all the shows are ending.
And I want to say to those listeners, thank you so much for your tweets. I do care a lot.
And if someone is offended about us even mentioning whale shows, they're going to hate what I'm about to say next. That is, I think we need to preemptively round up these belugas, figure out what the heck's going on here. We may release them one day. Right now, they're too big of a threat.
Russia already did that. Russia already preemptively collected up all the belugas.
We need to round them up. We need to round them up, truck them to somewhere in the country safe. We can talk to them. Figure out, get a hairdresser, a Catholic hairdresser who can communicate with them and figure out what the heck's going on here.
Right.
Because when you teach a beluga whale a trick, it's smiling the whole time. Yeah. And so I'm telling you, that whale is fine. They love it. So I'm all for their captivity.
God has given them a permanent grin, and they will
the
do whatever we command them.
The beluga whale's closest relative is the narwhal.
Oh, sure.
Oh my gosh.
The mythical narwhal, huh?
It's mythical. Are they mythical? No.
I thought they were until that 2 years ago.
I thought they were too. But
I still think they're mythical. You're telling me something I didn't know.
So are penguins. So are humans.
Right. Anything that is in Elf, you assume isn't real because of Santa Claus. But then there are penguins and Santa.
Yeah. No,
so there is real things.
A narwhal is a real animal. It has that spiral unicorn horn on its head. And a lot of people don't know this. That horn has magic spiritual powers. Very cool.
Wait, I do need to tell y'all a unicorn story because the other day I was at a friend's house with their kids and the little kindergartner, we were talking about Noah and the Ark. And she said about unicorn, she said, that was Noah's fault, right? That they're gone. He didn't let him on the ark. But she whispered it. She put her hand over her mouth. She said, that's Noah's fault, right? Unicorns are extinct.
To be fair, they do teach that at the Creation Museum. That's on the mural when you go there. And what actually happens much darker. Noah got very upset at how the unicorns were carrying on. He kicked them off the boat. It was a horrible thing to do.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm looking at the narwhal right now. It is the unicorn of the sea. It's a pale colored porpoise found in the Arctic coastal waters and rivers. And that spike looks terrifying.
Yeah.
It was the one left over from all the dinosaurs that just somehow made it because it was hanging out in the Arctic Circle. No. And it's just this crazy animal that I can't believe still exists.
Eddie, have you seen a bird? Birds are left over from dinosaurs.
Yeah, alligators.
Birds are left over. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
But you got to think the Russians, if the narwhals are so closely related, I think it'd be much cooler to have a weaponized animal that already has a big horn.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a bayonet from the old times.
Or a gun. You already have a gun, but why not put a spear on the front of it?
And they're all the way up there anyway. Russia's all the way up there. We're not going to have access to their narwhals. We can get to beluga whales. We can get our own.
most people in this country don't even believe narwhals are real.
You put a beluga whale, a weaponized beluga whale against a weaponized narwhal. Narwhal's winning.
Yeah, because
wait. A beluga whale versus a weaponized. Is the beluga whale weaponized?
Yeah. A weaponized beluga, a weaponized
versus
narwhal.
a weaponized
the narwhal
narwhal
has a
cousin
10-foot
versus
spike.
cousin. The War of the Roses
Has a 10-foot spike.
I don't know who wins that.
No, I'll tell you who. It's going to come down to just like all those great. Watch any action movie. These guys are the hero and the villain are armed to the teeth, and you know what it always comes down to? Hand-to-hand combat. These guys have lasers and jets and superpowers, whatever. They're always fist fighting at the end. If I'm in a fist fight, I'd rather have a huge horn on my face.
I mean, hey, everybody who's listening, do yourself a favor and just Google image search narwhals. This is insane. Those spikes are terrifying.
The beluga is able to swim backwards, which is kind of neat. I didn't know any whales could do that.
How could?
Oh, see, they can just back up. They can back up and get away. That's important in car chases. The one who can go backwards and spin around real quick and change direction always wins.
I kind of would assume
I'm
that.
going beluga. I'm going weaponized beluga on this.
Unfortunately,
Chandler?
though, it's. Oh no, you're totally wrong. It's the narwhal has a big spike on its head. It's going to win. Without its spike, it's a beluga. With the spike, it wins.
Here's my question, though. I'm a narwhal. I'm swimming around the ocean. There's fish all around. And how come there's no photos? I'm looking at all these underwater photos of narwhals. None of them have speared fish on their horn like a shish kebab. Like, how is that even possible? Can you imagine? Like, you're just swimming. And
he must not treat it like a sword.
No, but that'd be a cruel joke, Cameron, because it would be a speared fish that would look like he could eat, but it's dangling literally a carrot and a stick situation.
I know.
He's just hungry all the time because he can't get it down his mouth because he's got it at the end of a spear.
That's what I'm saying. What happens if they do get something stuck on their long spear? How do they get it off?
It's God's
They help
cruel,
each other.
God's
Or
cruel
it just
joke.
disintegrates.
No. Maybe that's it. Maybe the narwhal pod goes around. One is supposed to lead, shish kebab all the fish, and then they pull over to the side, and the other ones come up and eat a nice little lunch off of his shish kebab.
Yeah,
you know
everyone
what I mean?
takes turns. It's a very communal experience for these whales.
It's like Jesus feeding the loaves and the fishes. Everybody's just taking a little bit and passing it around.
It's exactly like that. It is precisely like the parable of Christ. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
So
I
that's
don't
your
know
show
why.
for today.
I don't know why
everybody.
there
Happy
aren't
Tuesday.
weaponized. There aren't weaponized narwhals, and we just don't know why. So
Dark it up,
we should
Cameron.
round
This is
those
getting
up too. We should round them up too.
It's really a missed opportunity.
Yeah. So
wow.
There we
Wow.
go.
I don't know what you do here.
And here we
Cameron?
We've done exactly what we're supposed to do. This was an incredible podcast.
It was great. Well, many thanks to Judah and the Lion for joining us. Their new album, Pep Talks, comes out this week. Don't miss it. You can follow
Many
them on
apologies
Twitter.
to Judah and the Lion for being on this narwhal beluga theme show.
Follow them on Twitter at
They
Judah.
knew what they were getting into.
At Judah and the Lion. Also, thanks to World Vision for making the episode possible. Remember, the World Vision Global 6K for Water is this Saturday, May 4th, and our whole team is running it, and we'd love for you to run it with us. Whether you're here in Orlando or across the country, you can go and search and find a group in your area or host a group by going to worldvision6k.org. It's a great
Including
cause.
me in North California.
Love it. Love it. So fun. Hey, if you love the Relevant Podcast, but you haven't gotten the magazine, we told you all about the brand new issue, and we have a special deal for you to get it. We are running right now to announce the new issue, the 99th issue of Relevant. We are doing a flash sale. You can get a year of Relevant for only $10. It's our lowest price ever. You can head over to relevantmagazine.com/flash sale exclusively at that URL. relevantmagazine.com/flash sale. Go get it, and you will get the new issue of Relevant. And if you want to check out the new issue online, you can view the issue at relevantmagazine.com. You don't want to miss it. There's a ton of great content. You heard all about it. All right. Well, on that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Chandler Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm going to tell you with my time, beluga whales have been known to mimic human speech. That's all I have to say.
I would love to hear that.
And I'm Annie F. Downs.
All right. We will see you on Friday. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
You were gone and my cell phone too. You were gone and my cell phone too.
Lots of animals get harnessed. That doesn't have anything to do with their mental capacity.
Relevant Podcast Network.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.